Oddly enough, the factors we mentioned, the photographer's control of the time the lens is open, shutter speed, the size of the opening, aperture, the sensitivity of the sensors, ISO, the perspective and the characteristic depth of field of the lens, focal length, and the distance between the photographer and the subject, focal distance, don't only help convey something real in photographs, don't only help the photographer convey what was the case at a particular point in time or what was actual. The very same set of decisions and choices help the photographer convey fictional constructs, the imaginary, the metaphorical, the allegorical, the internal, and the surreal. Especially effective is the use of slow and extremely slow shutter speeds, either with aperture fully stopped down to create crisp moments connected by blur, or with aperture more wide open to create smooth, fluid blur within a moment that has traces of movement or change in it. Sometimes these settings, combined with panning techniques, either handheld or with a tripod, also generate otherworldly images, often with no tangible connection to their subject matter other than as a source of light. To these can be added a whole range of experimental techniques: light poles, light painting, camera tosses, kinetic photography, and more. All of these techniques call attention to light itself, to color, to the patterns and structures of light and texture. Another range of striking and expressive visual fictions flows from the use of multiple overlapping images and panels and matrices of multiple images juxtaposed with one another. Some multiple exposures simply juxtapose two different subjects, often allowing negative space in each individual image to ensure the other image doesn't conflict with the first. Others juxtapose 5, 7, even 10 images to create an unusual scattered sense of line and color in the image, and still others choose an exposure shooting directly into the source of the light to create a kind of silhouette, and then place another subject on the image that appears through the dark areas of the silhouette. Some panels juxtapose two contrasting or two complementary images. Others present a sequence of images that suggest an action or a story. Even others present a confounding structure with identifiable photographic parts, but that make up an unnameable whole, a kind of collage, but it represents no particular object. And then there are intensely personal and unique subject themes. A contemporary Navajo photographer who decides to recreate the early photographs of Indians by Edward S. Curtis, who photographed them in the 19th century, but now using contemporary Native Americans as subjects. Or the photographer who decided to revisit all the locations in Paris shot by a 19th century photographer to see how they look now. Or even more personal themes. A group of 4 sisters who take a group photograph every year over an extended period of their life, almost 40 years. Or a group of photographs of fashion models posing with their mothers. Or even more to the point, environmentally motivated photographs taken every 2 hours a day in the same location from sunrise to sunset, and then layered one on top of the other into a final composite image. The range of thematic or conceptual connections to photography, its history, and its processes seems almost inexhaustible and a persistent source of fiction itself.